and Ndindi, because Ndindi Nyoro's cardinal sin, and that is why he had to lose his seat, was abstaining from voting yes to the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. It is not basically paying 10,000 per student. It is, for example, provision of foodstuffs in schools to reduce the cost. It is something that Honorable Ndindi has sat down with the school principals. And remember, it's just the day schools. Let me finish. So, the Akina Lesula Leisudend and Honorable Manzo mentioned here is because they are independent-minded. Let Jared Okello tell me any person that survived the purge in Mount Kenya that did not that voted yes. Everybody that voted yes to the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua was ousted. And I have examples of those that fell by the wayside because of voting yes, because of voting no. I mean, Wanjiku Moher, I mean, Honorable Gakuya, Honorable Gathoni wa Mushomba, and Ndindi, because Ndindi Nyoro's cardinal sin, and that is why he had to lose his seat, was abstaining from voting yes to the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. So when we sit here, let us be honest with ourselves. Yeah. Tell me, for example, in the Senate, and Senator Manzo is here, tell me any chair from the Rift Valley that was removed from the Senate. Honorable, Senator Mandago, chair for health, was retained. Honorable Chesang, Senator for Trans Nzoia, Chair ICT, was retained. Honorable Sigei, Senator for Bomet, Chair Jailak, was retained. Honorable Murgo, Senator for West Pokot, Chair Labour, was retained. And tell me which senator from the mountain who was a chair was retained. And when we talk about this, we are told we are tribalists. Which tribalist? Who is the greatest tribalist in this country, if not William Ruto, who will carefully make things appear nobody from his community is asked. Even in the National Assembly, let Okello tell me anybody from President Ruto's community that was asked. Let him mention one. Okay. And because I'm mentioning names of people from Mount Kenya that were asked. Remember, basically UDA, and I don't think, I'm not saying this to mean that we should have taken all the chairs, but remember UDA and UDA, the major following and support was from Rift Valley and Mount Kenya. So let us compare the two. Tell us which chair from Rift Valley in both houses has been removed. Okay. Because I'm mentioning names of chairs from Mount Kenya that have been removed, and tell me whom the tribalist is. Okay. The chief tribalist is. Yes. All right. I just want to...
Let me hear what Joe has to say, because Joe was actually a committee chair in the education and the Senate.
Thank you, Trevor. And I want to go with my colleague Senator Manzo's argument and reasoning that the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro has run his CDF very well. And I've had occasion on his invitation to attend some of these functions that he does in Kiharu. And what Ndindi Nyoro has been doing is that he has also been able to get very many friends. Yeah. I know, for example, and I've seen those that support him come with him. I have seen representatives from Food for Education, for example. So that just to debunk what Honorable Okello is saying, it is not basically paying 10,000 per student. It is, for example, provision of foodstuffs in schools to reduce the cost. It is something that Honorable Ndindi has sat down with the school principals. And remember, it's just the day schools. You know, when Honorable Okello talks about 50, is it 9,000 applicants for bursary? 15,000. Then that includes even, of course, those that are in boarding school. Yeah. So this particular arrangement affects only, day schools. Yeah. And the numbers are not as high. Mm. So it's about reducing the costs, a provision of foodstuffs in schools, friends, And, that kind of arrangement. And that is why Ndindi Nyoro has been able to excel in Kiharu. Yeah. It is not that he has misallocated monies meant for other places to his constituency. When I hear from my friend Jared when he says that the discussion of Ndindi Nyoro in the National Assembly just happened after a point of order from the Honorable Mboko Milemba.
Yeah.
I mean, that is how things are choreographed. Mboko Milemba, you will, stand and put across this point of order. Junet, you will also, after that, you will stand and use that opportunity to tear the character of Ndindi Nyoro in the house. Yeah. Kimani Ichung'wah, you will come in and make sure that whatever Junet Mohammed will not have done, that you do it very conclusively. I, as the speaker, will allow you. Because the speaker had the ability and the authority to stop them and tell them, hello, we are now going against our standing orders. Because now you have started discussing the conduct of a person without a substantive motion. Yeah. So it was something choreographed. Okay. So there is nothing like it is. They just rode on the point of order that was raised by Mboko Milemba. And to respond, Honorable Jared has said that we are just, crying wolf as people from Mount Kenya. If you remember in my submission, I was saying, and because this thing is recorded, I was saying at least in the Senate. And I want Jared, because I know he's also conversant with the happenings in the Senate, to tell me, any chair in the Senate that was ousted who does not come from Mount Kenya, and if he doesn't come from Mount Kenya, because I know Honorable Seki, the senator for Kajiado, was also ousted, is because he voted no to the motion to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. The names that he's fronting, he's talking about in the National Assembly, he's saying Karia retained his position. Good. Mwenja retained his position. Well, Ichung'wah was not removed. You should have mentioned others, not Ichung'wah. Of course, how do you say that Ichung'wah could have been removed? He's the one removing people, of course, under instructions from somewhere. So under instructions with ourselves. Yeah. Tell me, for example, in the Senate, and Senator Manzo is here. Tell me any chair from the Rift Valley that was removed from the Senate. Honorable, Senator Mandago, Chair for Health, was retained. Honorable Chesang, Senator for Trans Nzoia, Chair ICT, was retained. Honorable Sigei, Senator for Bomet, Chair Jailak, was retained. Honorable Murgo, Senator for West Pokot, Chair Labour, was retained. And tell me which senator from the mountain who was a chair was retained. And when we talk about this, we are told we are tribalists. Which tribalist is who is the greatest tribalist?